My name is Aza Raskin. I am one of the co-founders of Your Species Project. We are just at the very tip of understanding the deep interior lives of the other species that we share this planet with. And what Earth Species is about building the new AI tools to let us discover that.
I work really closely with the crow biologists on the one hand and our machine learning team at Earth Species Project on the other hand to try to figure out how we can use these new tools to help us answer these scientific questions about the crows.
Normally crows, they raise their children, their chicks, as pairs, but this group raises them in groups. It's communal child rearing. It's like a kind of like commune or kibbutz. And they have a unique dialect, a unique vocabulary that they use to do this unique behavior. And that gives us incredible opportunities to start understanding what they're saying.
We couldn't have done it without the Species Project because this is just beyond our reach. Finding people trained in artificial intelligence and interested in animal communication was just, wow, those are the people we need.
Welcome! How are you?
Great, so good
Great,
Nice to meet you in person.
Nice to meet you. We are old friends, but we have never met before, so welcome to our home.
Hi! Good to meet you.
How are you?
Finally. Nice to meet you. Hi, how are you?
Earth Species Project, they are being absolutely great. We couldn't really do this without them because we have a very large amount of data that it would be impossible to manage. We put loggers on the animals and recorded all their communication vocalizations for 6-7 days. And we have video recordings at the nest made at the same time, so they are synchronous.
This is data collected from freely moving wild crows, so it doesn't come from captive or temporarily captive animals. So the recordings are made with naturally behaving animals in their full ecological and social context, and that's quite an unusual thing.
We needed to know where the vocalizations are in the very long recordings. So we need to detect those because the alternative is that they have to label them manually. That's very often not feasible.
We have collected 150,000 vocalizations with this enormous amount of vocalization. At this stage, we are trying to categorize the calls and try to make a repertoire. And artificial intelligence is probably the key.
Realizing how many different calls there are that we didn't know about, even if we were working with crows for 25 years. And also just to see, a small difference in calls and we wonder if they mean something or not. I mean, it's really interesting and the tool is great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear. So we can start looking at really cool summaries of these data sets. Each row here is a different bird. And these colorful dots are the vocalizations in a kind of vocalization map. If two of those circles are the same colors, that means the vocalizations are really similar. And you can start to see patterns like even at this point, which is really exciting. So one thing I'll point out is like all of these nest visits have these blue vocalizations. And when you look at these spectrograms, they're all looking pretty similar. There are these quiet sounds. Something like, I'm home, I have food, the chicks might be asleep and so it wakes them up. Of course, we don't know exactly how to translate that. You might have to iterate to improve your machine learning algorithm. You might just have to correct some of its outputs. So it's this like really big loop between us and the biologists of like always staying close to checking that data, but using the machine learning to help us out in terms of scaling and hopefully soon in terms of finding those new patterns that we didn't know about before.
The big question is their vocal repertoire the key for their cooperative behavior?
Are they talking about that common task? Are they telling each other who is going to be the next to feed in the chick, for example?
Communication is what allows us to understand the inner state of another being. I think this is a very different point of view, trying to give animals full consideration because they can do things that we couldn't imagine.
Here we are contributing to generate a tool that can be put in use for other species.
We live on a very crowded planet. We need to figure out how to share space and resources with other species.
There are profound implications across the entirety of our society when animals begin to speak in a way that we can understand.